first of all, I want to thank you for running, because it's pretty courageous to run. Because everybody beats you up, I know, and even your fellow Republicans, the Democrats, are going to get their hands on it. I'm a senior citizen, and so I'm really concerned not only about my grandkids, but I'm concerned about my what's going to happen to me.
Sure.
Because I've worked very hard all my life. Right. I worked very hard all my life. And I would like to know from you, do you favor giving Social Security to Wall Street so they can make more money than what it's doing right now?
Yeah, no, I don't. And I would tell you this, if you've read the headlines, and you have every right to be concerned. If you've read the headlines, even now, well in advance of what the projections were, Social Security is paying out more than it's taking in. Now, I wasn't a math major in college, but I can tell you, anybody can figure out that that system is not going to last very long. In fact, more young people today think that they're going to have a chance to walk on the surface of the moon than they are to collect Social Security. That's how bad it's gotten. But for people in your position who've paid into Social Security and Medicare for your entire working life, and now you are retired and expecting to receive what you've paid in, you won't even get what you paid in, but we have to say the system is going to stay the same for you. If you're, in my view, you know, take a look at it, you can move it a year or two, but if you're 55 or older, we say, you know what, Social Security is there for you, it's as you planned, you paid into the system, you're going to be able to get it the way it was originally intended, as you planned. But if you're under the age of 55, I think we have to change the system if we expect it to survive in any way, shape, or form over the long term. I'm under the age of 55, and I think by the time I got to 62, let alone 65 or 70, I would have very little chance to see it. And so there are a number of people in Congress who, some of whom are very close friends of mine, who've worked on programs that would say if you're under 55, as I'm giving it to Wall Street, but it is creating a plan, not unlike what the federal government offers its employees today, where you have a basket of options, three, four, five different types of funds, where a portion of your Social Security could go into that fund, where you would get a guaranteed rate of return that would be invested in the private marketplace, into stocks, bonds, and things like that.
Who would guarantee that?
Well, the guarantee, I guess, I don't want to make a personal guarantee. I'm going to tell you, though, that history has proven that your rate of return is going to be better by putting it in an investment option than it is giving it to the federal government. There's no question about it. I mean, any historical review will tell you that. But again, what we have to do is to bifurcate the system so that people are contributing some into Social Security while at the same time preserving the option to
you know, I've heard some other ways of doing it. Don't put a cap on, you know, if you make 90,000, you're done. Yeah. And I met that many, many times, so I was done. Sure. What if they didn't put a cap on it? Well, and then, and then if they didn't put a, and then if they quit using it for other than what it's used for, instead of me and her, where somebody can come in and Congress can take money out of the Social Security, that's not for me and her.
No, yeah, when they add additional programs.
Keep your hands up, and that's, you know, and I know, and everybody knows here that there's a lot of people got their hands in that money, and it's not for the seniors.
Yeah, it definitely pays for a variety of different functions.
Absolutely.
You know, when it was first created back in the 30s under the Roosevelt administration, there were 16 workers paying in for every retiree, and that's the way the system works. We pay today to give to folks who are in their retirement years. Well, today, we're at about 2.5 workers for every retiree, and it'll soon be 2. And the other thing is, when it was created, the life expectancy was 62 years old. And today, we're living, thank God, into our, you know, mid to late 70s on average. And so we've created a system that simply can't sustain itself. Now, you talked about expanding the cap. I don't particularly favor that, because I just think you're going to, if you don't cap it, then it's going to go up and up and up, and people are going to see an additional tax burden from Social Security. I think we ought to be cutting the payroll tax, not raising it. The other thing, however, that I do think is worth considering is raising the retirement age of eligibility for Social Security. And that's something I think needs to be considered.
It was in the Times that he wants to raise it to 70.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think of that? What's your thoughts on it?
No.
Okay, because now it's 62, 65, and I think 70. It's a sort of a three-tiered system, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. You know something else you really talked about, it really hit a hot button with me, jobs. Everybody talks about jobs. How we can get jobs. But if we continue to give tax breaks to companies that send jobs to China and all over the world, we're giving money to companies that take our jobs away. We're losing an unbelievable amount of skilled trade jobs.
Right.
In fact, some people feel that we couldn't even go to war now because we've lost so many high-tech jobs and things are going to India, going to China. And I would hate to think if I needed something for my missiles, I got to ask the Chinese,
Yeah.
could you please send this
You don't
over?
know whose side they're
We
going to
want
be
to
on.
go to war with
That's
you.
exactly
You know?
right.
We're actually in 2 wars right now.
Yeah.
We are in 2 wars, and that's another thing I want to ask.
Sure.
How is anybody in Afghanistan going to come over here and get us? There's no roads, there's nothing.
Yeah, I don't think
And I'm a veteran, a combat veteran, and I got a hole on me right here.
Well, the original intent, we've all put a lot out there and we'll cover it, but just to talk about the Afghanistan thing. The original intent of this nation going into Afghanistan was to chase the people that got us.
Absolutely.
Was to go after Al-Qaeda and to root out that as a place from which they could launch terrorist attacks against the United States. And we started that almost immediately after 9/11 in 2001. But do you realize that since we've been there, since 9/11 until today, we've spent over $1 trillion, more than this healthcare bill will ever cost? Well, not ever, but certainly
You're absolutely
projections
right.
for 10 years. And I have to tell you, we are in a bit of a no-win situation now, because we have committed our troops, we've committed, we have sacrificed brave men and women to
3
that
more died
cause.
yesterday.
There we go. And now the president has said, well, we're going to leave on July of 2001. We're just going to leave. Well, you and I both know that, the bad guys are just going to go crawl in their cave and they're going to wait till July 2nd of 2011 and they'll come out and do that. You don't run a war that way. But by the same token, I also want to know and to be able to come back to my constituents and say to you, this is what we're doing there. This is what constitutes victory. These are our objectives, and this is what America is trying to succeed. I can't say that now. I haven't heard from this administration. Are we just trying to prop up this government?